agree. Well, reason for the call today, John, is something just came across my desk, John. It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share the idea with you. You got a minute?
GM, welcome back to the channel. Market update here. We've just begun September. Of course, we had a bit of a weak monthly close in August. As you can see from this candle here, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months above the kind of previous all-time high range. But then August did end with a bit of a whimper. Kind of expected the bulls to push the price a bit higher. There wasn't really much of a fight back. So now we're opening September below this previous like all-time high area, which may now be a bit of resistance. And we're at 58.7 on the CME there on the monthly. Let's jump over to my normal chart. The index chart showing me 58.4 currently. So this is on a daily now, and you can see the kind of areas of interest. So previous lows that we hit back at the start of August, closing basis around 54K, and then obviously the actual wick low was 49,000. But so Bitcoin generally quite weak. However, if we do get a bit of a sweep of these areas, they may be providing some areas for bid to re-enter into the market, as what has seemingly been quite lackluster as of late. Obviously, we would want this one to hold here and not revisiting those wick lows from, what was it, Monday the 4th of August, I believe. So that is kind of the setup for BTC, kind of expecting some more choppiness and potential downside here. And we can see from what Luke posted earlier, so Lucky Luke BLOCMATES on Twitter, showing the Bitcoin liquidation maps. So this is potentially where market makers could push price to enforce some pain and liquidate shorts up to somewhere around this region, around 59K. And then maybe the longs can get rinsed down here somewhere in the region of 56K, which will just keep us in this kind of region around this price action. And it looks like Bitcoin is currently trying for a move upwards. So maybe it will liquidate some shorters. This is the historic data for BTC. And you can see the month of October. I think everyone is looking forward to that, as seasonality experts are back on the timeline saying, look, September shit. As you can see, plenty of red in there. But October specifically, and typically in bull runs, so 2020, 4 years back, you would expect us to maybe copy some of this price action as we are in the same 4-year cycle. 4 years back, 2020, positive October, November, and December. We then had follow through into 2021 with January, February, and March all posting some huge gains before we had kind of the major dump off, and we topped in November later in 2021. Going back to 2016 as well, you can see October, November, December up bigly. So what does that leave us for the months ahead? Well, potentially what we're going to see here is some chop price action in this month of September, and then hopefully a bullish continuation October, November, with some certainty around elections. I do think this plays quite a strong part of why the markets are weak right now. People aren't concentrated on crypto. There's a huge election campaign ongoing in the US. It's going to be very momentous. And so I think in terms of what people are concentrating their time and effort into, it won't be crypto until at least this is done and dusted. Then September 18th, so coming up in a couple weeks and change, Fed rate cuts is coming. 70% chance of a 25 basis points cut, a 50 basis point cut being priced in at 30% currently. So that is going to be a market mover. We also have the quad witching day on the 20th September. So 18th of September, 20th September, key dates in the calendar. So this is kind of some of the analysis that Eric Crown has been putting together, saying likely we have chop, maybe downwards price action going into those kind of areas, 18th, 20th September, and then we'll have the market really show its hand as to where next, and hopefully that would be to the upside, as many of us are expecting at some point. But as it stands, obviously pretty bearish out there and people are losing the plot. Macro land, we have ISM manufacturing Tuesday, JOLTS on Wednesday, ISM services on Thursday, and then unemployment and non-farm payrolls on Friday, which could be market movers as well. So all eyes on that. Fear and greed is very fearful right now. 26 is the reading overall. So a bit of a bleak-ish picture, but this is very much positive. The fact that stablecoins are pushing towards all-time high. Previously, the all-time high of last cycle was around $187 billion, and currently we're at 169. And we've put in a bit of a growth spurt here for stablecoins entering the crypto economy. So the economy of crypto looks fairly healthy from that standpoint, which is a counter to some of the other data. And hence we've had a lot of choppy price action. We've also got the boomers selling their bags. You can see 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th of August there. Outflow, 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 outflow in a major way, whilst gold is pushing all-time highs. So maybe the boomers have cashed out some digital gold for real gold. And you can see ETH has been rather lackluster so far. And the last trading day, 30th of August 2024, 0 inflows across the board, which of course is better than outflows. So during the choppy and more boring times in the market, we often see innovation occur and people jump on things that can get sent. When there's not a lot of things happening, it's easier for new stuff, new shiny objects to get sent even harder. So this is VISTA, which some of the boys have been posted about this morning. I have not got a position in this. I am coping and seething from the sidelines at this moment in time, but this is essentially a way to launch tokens. So you can see that analogous to pump.fun, but on Ethereum. And it is a DEX, a trading venue where you can add your own liquidity. You can swap tokens on here. So as an example, if I wanted to take some ETH from my wallet and buy some of the VISTA token here, you would do that by following along, as simple as that, and pressing swap. Less fees than Uniswap, and the rewards, i.e. the fees, go back to the LPs. So LPing this could also be decent, but this sparks potential utility season. Price action on this is incredible. So since this morning, about 5 a.m., it was around $2. Now it's up to a peak price of around 19. It just hit, obviously, with something garnering all the attention right now. I would say everyone is talking about this. The price action is wild. So you're going to get swings of multiple dollars in like 10-minute periods, currently down to 14. Looks like it is going up like a rocket ship there. I would want to see a deeper retrace and some capitulation before getting on board with this. But at 14 mil market cap, it is low, but I would not buy that chart as is right now. But as there is so much liquidity and money on Ethereum, this could really be a sender like we saw with Unibot last summer, I believe it was that 2023? You get these senders on ETH and they can do dramatically big numbers because there is a lot of concentration of capital and wealth on Ethereum mainnet. So that is the VISTA token. And if you do want to buy it, you have to buy it directly through this website here, ethervista.app. So you'd have to get used to actually using the platform now. And I think this is possibly the reason why Gwei is up bigly, hitting a peak of 3.19 Gwei on ETH mainnet there. It has been below 1 for quite some time, but we have an uptick due to the fact people want to do something on mainnets. Let's just look at the 24-hour gainers. We've got the likes of Helium. I want to dive into that. We're seeing losers, Aave, some memes in there. Helium HNT. So this is a Depin network for mobile data, essentially a mobile carrier with a distributed network of nodes. $7.60. Is there a bit of a Depin move going on right now? Because that looks extremely strong considering the kind of sentiment in the market right now. So this is one to have my eyes on. So I'm watching this one, $1.2 billion market cap. And then this as beta, XNET mobile. Concerns with this thing, same kind of deal. It is a mobile carrier. They apparently sell their excess data to some of the big carriers in the real world out there. And from that revenue, 80% is used to buy back and burn tokens. Avocado Toast has been on this one for a while. This is one I'm tracking as well. This could get follow through if Helium really starts to break out here. XNET had a merger of its token onto Sol. So it was based on Polygon, migrated over to Solana. So this was kind of that pump price action. It has subsequently sold off. But what they're saying here is that those who do not move their tokens over from Polygon and bridge it over by this Tuesday, i.e. tomorrow, they could be locked out, as they are going to kind of cap the time frame within which people have to actually convert the tokens, which I think is a bit harsh. But that could see 20% of tokens actually removed from supply. So that could be a bullish catalyst here. But major concern is it's a 3.3 mil market cap. So that is obviously good. Won't take a lot to move this thing. But FTV is $285 million, which is quite off-putting. So this would be more of a short-term trade and not a long-term hold for myself. But maybe we'll enter into that one if we see some more bullish continuation from Helium's HNT token there. So Overall, I would say eyes on the prize, because even during the chop, there's going to be cookers such as this thing. If I was up just an hour before I woke up, if I actually woke up at 6 a.m. this morning, potentially could have caught this one around $2.50 and been up bigly at this time. So cope and seethe is my mind frame for the rest of the day. So BTC areas to watch: the wick close, the candle body close from the earlier nuke in August, somewhere around 54s. Hopefully nowhere below that. And I would suggest maybe what we will see is later in the month, post rate cuts, post quad witching, hopefully a turnaround in fortunes for the crypto markets. Hope you enjoyed this one. Subscribe if you're new. Peace.